Genghis Khan stands as one of the most famous and influential figures in human history. As the founder and supreme ruler of the Mongol Empire, he forged a realm that stretched from China to Eastern Europe, becoming the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. He is often remembered for his military brilliance, religious tolerance, and legal innovations. Yet behind this legacy lies a far darker reality. Genghis Khan was also an exceptionally ruthless conqueror. His campaigns resulted in the deaths of millions, the annihilation of entire cities, and the enslavement of vast populations across Eurasia. In this video, Human Shields examined some of the most disturbing actions Genghis Khan inflicted upon his slaves, and how these brutal practices shaped his empire and left scars on world history that remain visible even today. Slaves as human shields. Among the most horrifying tactics attributed to Genghis Khan was his deliberate use of captives as human shields. Historical sources describe how prisoners were forced to march at the front of advancing Mongol armies. Their grim purpose was to absorb enemy arrows, spears, and defensive fire, sacrificing their lives to shield Mongol warriors from harm. This calculated cruelty served a dual purpose. It minimized Mongol casualties while instilling terror and psychological collapse among enemy defenders. One of the most notable examples occurred during the Mongol invasion of the Tangut Kingdom of Xixia in 1209. Reports suggest that nearly 30,000 captured Chinese soldiers were forced to act as human shields during the siege. Many perished before the city fell, their lives extinguished in service of Mongol conquest. A similar strategy was employed in 1223 during campaigns against the Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. Thousands of Muslim captives were compelled to march ahead of Mongol forces. Some were reportedly tied to siege engines and launched into fortified cities, an act that underscores the extreme measures Genghis Khan was willing to employ to secure victory. Beyond their tactical value, these acts reveal the deeply dehumanizing nature of warfare under Mongol rule, where human lives were reduced to expendable instruments of domination. Forced labor and public brutality. Another shocking feature of Genghis Khan's rule was the relentless forced labor imposed on enslaved populations. Captives were driven to exhaustion digging canals, constructing roads, building fortifications, and transporting massive loads across vast distances. This labor powered the rapid expansion of the Mongol Empire while reinforcing the Khan's absolute authority. Even more disturbing were the public displays of violence organized for intimidation and entertainment. Slaves were sometimes forced to fight one another or battle wild animals, their suffering reduced to spectacle. These grotesque acts stripped victims of their humanity, turning them into disposable objects in the eyes of their conqueror. Loyalty was often demanded through acts of unimaginable cruelty. Slaves were forced to commit horrific deeds, sometimes even murdering their own family members, to prove obedience or have their will completely broken. During the siege of Otrar in 1219, following the execution of Mongol envoys, Genghis Khan pursued ruthless revenge. He captured the governor's son and allegedly forced him to execute his own father as well. This chilling act was before killing the son as well. This chilling act was meant to send an unmistakable message about the cost of defying Mongol authority. At Nishapur in 1221, after learning of the death of his favored son-in-law, Genghis Khan ordered a massacre of unprecedented scale. Men, women, children, and even animals were slaughtered indiscriminately. The streets reportedly ran red with blood. In an especially cruel act, he forced his daughter to witness the destruction, ensuring the trauma of loss would never fade. Sexual exploitation of slaves. One of the darkest aspects of Genghis Khan's reign was the systematic sexual exploitation of enslaved women. His polygamy was legendary, with hundreds of wives and concubines, many taken by force from conquered territories. Sexual violence became normalized within the Mongol elite. Genghis Khan granted his sons and generals the right to claim women as spoils of war, fostering a culture of exploitation and objectification. Neither age, religion, nor social status offered protection. Women were treated as property, sometimes exchanged as gifts or tribute to allies. Their autonomy and humanity were entirely disregarded. Through these unions, Genghis Khan fathered many children, some of whom would go on to rule vast territories. Among the most famous was Kublai Khan, his grandson, who later founded the Yuan dynasty in China. Modern genetic studies suggest that approximately 0.5% of the world's population, around 16 million people, can trace their ancestry back to Genghis Khan. This staggering statistic highlights the profound and lasting biological impact of his reign. A complex and contradictory legacy. These examples represent only a fraction of the violence committed under Genghis Khan's rule. His legacy is undeniably marked by immense suffering and destruction. Yet he was also a unifier, a lawmaker, and a visionary who transformed fragmented tribes into a global empire. Genghis Khan remains one of history's most complex and contradictory figures, both a brilliant empire builder and one of the most ruthless conquerors the world has ever known. His influence reshaped Asia and Europe, and its effects continue to echo through history today. We hope this video helped you gain a deeper understanding of Genghis Khan and the brutal realities behind his empire. If you found it informative, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel.